Hi. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Hi. Hi.
Hello, you good doggy?
Hi, little buddy.
Nice Louie. Nice Louie. Oh, yeah.
Little Louie.
Little Louie. Yeah, nice doggy.
Do you remember us?
You remember us, Louie, don't you? Yeah. Nice doggy.
Hi, buddy. Hi. We are back in Taiwan to get this boat to Japan. What did you want to do first? You want to do that first or the oil?
No, this.
So install Simrad meter. Okay, guys and gals, owning a boat, or really owning anything for that matter, always means a lot of work and maintenance. There were a handful of things to get done on the boat before departure, so I threw together a little to-do list, and first on the list was to install a Simrad rudder indicator up on the flybridge. A boat is like a house. You kind of need everything on a boat to do anything. And in this case, we avoided buying and packing around a jigsaw for this one project, but it was really the one tool we kind of needed. So we struggled with the cheap tools that we had on board not performing well. The batteries weren't working for some reason. So this was a struggle. Gotta make sure we don't hit that.
Is that part?
Took hours and hours, and Steve ended up finishing it in the dark. But it's done. Check it off the list. The other thing is change the oil. We're waiting for the batteries to charge for the angle grinder. So just started the engine to warm up the oil and in preparation for changing it. This is a new boat, and the break-in period for the John Deere diesel engine says to change the oil at around 100 hours, which is close to where we are at.
Figure out which one we use.
Is that second? Oh, it is second. It's hard to rely on stores in foreign countries to have what you need, and Steve knows this from years of personal experience with his old sailboat, which he had bought back in France years ago and sailed it across the Atlantic. The safest thing to do is to bring with you what you're going to need. This oil suction system was one of those things that we packed with us on the flight. One, or rather, two more things we brought from home, although not on this trip, but from previous trips, were our little marine folding bikes that we had from our old sailboat. These bikes are so awesome, and for the few days that we were in Taiwan, we used them several times a day. You know, going to the hardware store, getting more things, groceries, ATM, that kind of stuff. Getting that hole cut out for the Simrad thing is a slow process. We're gonna go to a hardware store. We got our little bikes out, and we're gonna go see if we can't find, I don't know, something to help us.
I'm just getting a belt. I'm becoming too thin.
In the town on the hill where the apples grow, and the church bells ring every hour or so, I took a little walk just to see the ships coming in. The sun rose up right above the highway, black, blue, red.
Is this like, I wonder if this is illegal to bike with a phone. Distracted biking.
Go back down to that water again. These old muddy shoes keep on walking Egyptian streets. Someone's bride buying Egyptian sheets. The window display of some little store in town. And there's my reflection against the morning light. Hello, Mr. Ghost, Mr. Skeleton White. You better comb your hair, you better wipe that George Clay off your brow. You better stand up straight, man, these people hardly recognize you now. Lord.
So we're trying to leave tomorrow. The big thing is getting the customs, like getting checked out, which is always hard, it seems like. So Steve is working on that, just trying to find an agent and trying to find out where it is we need to go. Do we all need to go to this checkout place? Usually you get 24 hours of a window. So, I mean, our plan is to leave tomorrow. That's what we're aiming for. There's a weather window to go, so it's the best time to go. We'll just have to see whether or not the pencil pushers can make it happen for us. But last day, we're just kind of just doing some last minute things, tightening things up, checking the rigging, making sure things are working. We're gonna change fuel, transfer fuel, and polish fuel. Changing the fuel filter. That one is really dirty.
O-rings. So I've got to get we got to get a little bit of container with fuel, because you want to fill this up to the top with clean diesel.
So like what about like in a water container? An old water jug?
Well, we got to go to the gas station.
Oh,
Right.
I see.
Because we don't have anything, but
Oh, you
look
mean
at
like-
that, holy fuck.
Yeah, that's dirty.
So it would have stalled the engine if we got it out there.
We just had to bike really far to come get some diesel fuel. And I wish I had a way to film it, because we're like biking in the traffic, and we've been biking for like, I don't know, 45 minutes through all this city, and it's been kind of fun, but I need both my hands, so.
Like a sailing ship, comfort me before I slip around the dark side of the moon. All this spinning around hurts my head. I just sit here.
I'm doing some food prep, pre-cooking rice and pre-cooking veggies, because even like Dennis says he's a big eater, so if he wants to come down and heat something up, he can. But when you're down below, when it's rough, or even if it's not even rough, but a little bit, that's when you kind of feel sick. So, okay, we've got some mushroom rice pudding, a tiny bit of plain rice, and some cooked vegetables. Captain?
So Dennis
Introducing
is the new
Dennis.
crew. Yeah, Dennis. He was in the Navy with me, so we've known each other for a long time.
And Dennis is ranked.
He is one of the lower deckers on the ship.
Even though
At
he
your
has.
service.
So Steve bought this case.
Lift it up.
Yeah.
It's a lithium battery.
Because, well, what happened last time was it got submerged in water, so it's a waterproof case. The battery will stay, but the cables have to come out somehow.
Well, when we're on the boat, we have it open.
Outboard things. What do you have to do?
Well, I tried to screw the new one in, but it's really tight, so I got to thread it. See, like this is the fits. Okay, let's just go into the engine room.
So when we were in Hong Kong, leaving Hong Kong, something happened. Well, the boat, I think we were leaving the fuel dock, was it? Or
No, I think
Dave, when he backed up, so packed in Hong Kong, he backed the boat up and the outboard
hit another boat or something,
hit something else
and those
bent.
things bent.
And so I'm just redoing the thread so it'll go in there easier. Good to have all the equipment on their boat.
It's these things that bent. It took a really long time to find the right size to replace them.
Because it wasn't going in very well. Oh yeah, nice and easy. Now you can do it one hand.
I just went over to give little Louie, the little dog over there at the Coast Guard, I went to give him a few little morsels and pet him and brush him. He's dirty. We're just waiting for the customs to come and stamp our passports, which we had to, of course, organize that. That took yesterday organizing to figure out if we had to drive to the customs and have it done, but we ended up hiring an agent. So they are taking care of the paperwork, and then they're gonna come here shortly and stamp our passports. And we're off.
Can you open those blinds?
What's that?
Can you open those blinds? Those ones there?
Oh
so I
yeah,
can see.
yeah. One of the goals of this trip is to practice with some of the things on the boat and get more acquainted with the boat. And one of them is the flopper stoppers, or like the stabilization arms. And it's nice and calm, so we're gonna play around with those now.
Okay, now let's let this down.
The only one I'm not sure about is what these guys do.
Yeah,
Well, you could leave them there.
Yeah, let's leave.
It won't even change
Okay,
it.
you get the black line.
We've been going for, I don't know, about an hour or so, and we're kind of coming to where we're gonna turn to the point of the tip of the island of Taiwan. It's starting to get a little bit more rough, so the boys are gonna put the flopper stoppers out. They did the trial run and it was okay. Got the wristband on, release band it's called, which is like a median nerve stimulator. try to help with seasickness. So the stabilization arms are out, and already we definitely notice a difference. Slows the boat down a little bit, but it's worth it. No matter how many times I try to degrease my face, it just gets shiny again, but I'm not going to complain about that because then I get home and my skin is like dry as a popcorn fart. This was the gist of our route, and the weather reports looked great. A nice high pressure system was in the forecast, and the wave height was supposed to be in the 5 to 10 foot range. But, pretty early on that first night, we were bouncing around quite a bit. Although the stabilizer fins were a tremendous help, we just had the wind and sea on our nose the entire 3 days. In these conditions, no matter what, it's just incredibly uncomfortable, kind of miserable, and we were all kind of sick the whole time. With just 3 of us as crew this time, we each did 2-hour watches, and that started once it got dark. And I'm not sure why, but all of my watches each night were the busiest of all. I had lots of ships on my watches that I had to be aware of. And on the last night, the stabilizer fins got caught on a big fishing line. I just happened to hear a different sound. So I got up with the flashlight and walked around the boat and happened to see that the fins were out of the water. So it was an all hands on deck moment. If that caught around the prop, we would have been in a lot of trouble. So we really got lucky. About a year ago, we hired a consultant. He's a Canadian but lives permanently in Japan, and we hired him to help us enter into Japan. This would help us with the bureaucratic paperwork, and he also acts as a cruising guide, providing recommended ports and highlights along our route from Taiwan to the inland sea of Japan.
So, we went since 8 o'clock this morning. Last 4 hours. We went 25 miles. That's a little over 6 knots of speed. That's what it is.
One of the big things about arriving into Japan, according to our consultant, Kirk, is that you literally have to arrive to your destination at the exact time you said you would. Not 15 minutes early, and certainly not 15 minutes late. So we had to adjust our speed and basically dilly-dally around for a few hours until our arrival time of 3 p.m. We pulled into the Yonobero Marina after a rough and long 3 days, and it felt so nice to finally be able to eat something. We were met by quarantine and customs, expecting a full day of paperwork, but pleasantly surprised to be done in about 2 hours. We were told it might take all day, so that was a relief. Our plan at this point is to stay here at this marina for about 4 days to just kind of plan and prepare for the next part of the trip, which is going to be hopefully the most fun part, and it will consist of island hopping our way north. So that will be it for this video, my friends. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.